guys, it's Amy from Amy's Little Bit of Everything. How you doing? Jetsons, silk flappers, fishy lips, and butterfly. If you did that with me, you are young at heart. And if you didn't, fast forward that part. You didn't need it anyways. Okay, let's get started. I have been gone for quite a long time because I've had phone problems. I've been okay, Jeff's been okay. I get a little under the weather, but we won't go there. Just my little thing I have going on. But anyways, my phone has been bad. I've not been able to download any videos. So I need to do canning hauls, Temu hauls, just a bunch of stuff, and I haven't done it. So anyways, I thought I'd get started. I am doing corn today. And I'll turn you over this way. I did cabbage the other day, and I put a picture on Facebook and had a lot of response on how do you do cabbage, haven't found a good recipe, on and on. And so I was like, you know what, I need to do a video on cabbage. But I am done with our cabbage. This is what it looks like. Got it finished. And I like to cut it up like this. It makes it good for soups. We also fry this cabbage. We use it for almost a little bit of everything. But I call it purple cabbage. Some people call it red cabbage, but it's purple to me. But I do have purple cabbage coming, and I will do it the same way. So wait on that video if you want to can something. The best thing I could tell you, because your cabbage is probably going to be coming due. Our purple cabbage probably won't be due. I'd say we have probably another week or two. But as soon as we get it, I'll get a video out and let you see it. So like I said, today I'm going to do corn. So people have had such interest in canning, so I just thought I'd go through basic steps. What I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to clean off the hair as best as I can. What I usually do, let me see if I can get you guys down here a little bit better. Oh, sorry, I don't have a good setup to where I can really put my phone on this. I'll just put it there. Okay. I do the best I can, guys. Alright, so what I do is, just in case somebody doesn't know, but I put it on a little cold running water, and then I just basically brush the hair. And you try to get off as much as you can, and of course you can never get it totally clean. I mean, you could, but it's going to take you forever and ever. And I don't have a lot of time. And plus, I never know when my illness is going to set in, and I'm not going to feel good. So I have to basically get it done. But I just go through each and every corn, and this isn't even half of what we got. Jeff just brought me in this to get me started. But what I'm going to do, I'll finish that so you guys get the gist of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning. Then, after I clean my corn, oh, I don't have my little tool. I'll wait till Jeff comes in. I'll have him get my little tool. It's a little cut off the ears of, or cut off the pieces of corn. But I sit there and I get a bowl and I cut it all off. I used to use a knife, which a knife would take me forever. I'll show you the little tool I got. And it's a Temu. I think my first time I bought it, it was like Rural King or someplace like that. I can't remember. But now Temu has them for like more than half the price. But anyways, I've got my hot water going because I do want to sterilize. I'm going to put these in quarts. I like to put our corn in pints, but we're running out of pint jars, so I have to use quarts. But that's okay. If you have a small family, because like here at home, me and Jeff, we could eat a pint of corn. But with the quart, what I do is through the week, say we have corn, and we have, say we can eat half and we have half left over. I used to throw it away, but instead, I put it in a little container, put it in the freezer, and then say we have a little bit of peas left over, or green beans left over, or potatoes left over. I keep freezing them, and sometimes I've even got out and got a bigger bowl. Let me just show you. Got one like this, put the corn in, put a lid on it, put it in the freezer, then add the peas, put a lid on it, add the green beans until I got a vegetable soup mix. So then what I do is I just take all my vegetables, and you could even reheat them and eat them, or I put them in soup. Now, of course, you're probably going to need more, but you at least didn't waste that much. So that's what I do with our leftovers. Jeffrey Porter. So that's what I do with our leftovers. All right, I'm going to show you that tool now that I got Jeff in and he can go out and get it for me. Say hi, Jeff. Okay, guys, hold on a minute. All right, I'm back. Okay, this is the little handy dandy tool that I got from Temu. And my first one was from Rural King. And as you see, I bought a couple because I cannot do without one. So if one breaks. I can't even remember which one was from. Well, maybe I can't. Okay, so it would have been this one. Would have been from Rural King. And these are from Temu. Because they're the same. And actually, these feel more heavier. I mean, I don't think it doesn't bother me either one. But this one feels lighter. I would have swore this one was a Temu one. Okay, but anyways, when you do your corn... I'm sorry, I don't have very good setup. I got everything over there. Try to get everything out of the way. All right, when you do your corn, I got this smaller one. Gosh, watch me spill it. Okay, now they did show. How was it they were showing? They were showing some people like this on the video. To me, that's dangerous. I'm gonna cut myself like that. And my thumb is doing better, by the way, people. I chopped it off last time. Okay. But I go in like this and see how it just takes off chunks. And I loved when my mom would cook corn and you could eat it in a chunk like that. Well, okay. And then you just keep going. I used to do this with a knife. And oh my gosh, this thing takes so much time out of my, it's just fast now. Now, what was I going to say? This thing's perfect. There was something else I was going to say. See how it just comes right off? Hope you guys can see that. And then you keep going like that. And it's not very hard. It looks like it's harder than what it is. I think I'm just trying to not cut myself on the video because I don't want to restart this video. So, but I just go through this so fast. Now, when I used to do it with a knife, I used to have to put it in here and be like this. That's how I used to do it. But now with this thing, and our corn tops, we give those to the chickens. But I'm going to sit here and clean all this with this little handy dandy tool. And you can get it on Temu because that's where I got those. I don't even know if they still sell them at Rural King. I'm sure they do. I haven't really checked. But they got them at Temu now. Okay, I'm going to let you go so I can get all this done, and then I will be back. Thank you, guys. Okay, guys, now what I do at this point, I got all my corn. I mean, that's just part of our corn. That's just what Jeff brought in. But I got it all off the cob. Now what I'm going to do is let my water get hot. Remember, we have to fill up our quarts with hot water and then let them sit for a few minutes and then put them in our hot water bath to sanitize them. And you do that so because you don't want a cold jar going into a hot water. And I know I talked on that on my last video, but I just wanted to mention that again because this seems like the most thing that people forget because they're like, how do you keep your jars from busting? And it's always the hot on hot. Either you're going to do hot on hot or you're going to keep it cold on cold. But I'm going to go ahead and fill me 7 quarts because that's what I can get in my pressure canner. And then after that, I will be back. So that's where we're at right now. Alright guys, I'm just going to show this so that everybody sees. Oh, first we got to check our temperature. And it has to be 185. So let me check that real quick and I'll come back. Okay, now this process is just sanitizing our jars and getting them up to temperature for our pressure cooker. Sometimes I'll leave my water in, sometimes I don't. It just depends. If I seem like I have enough water in here, I definitely can't or it'll get too full. But this time I'm just going to leave it in because I don't have a lot. I have it about a little over half. So it was needing some water in there anyways. So all you do is you're going to set these all in here. Then you'll set your timer for 10 minutes and that will sanitize your jars. All right, see you in a little bit. Okay guys, now what I'm doing is first of all, I wanted to show you, I always show you what book I always go to. I've done it so now, I don't really need my book, but I always get it out. I always still look at it because I always still got to check the time because I never could remember. Corn is the longest. Corn is like, I think in a quart jar, an hour and 25 minutes. And that's a long time. But we like corn and I get corn and it looks really good. So I do it. But I always just go to like corn, whole kernel. And then all it's telling you is 9 to 18 pounds, ears of corn. I just generally just estimate. And then salt and water. Okay, so what I got right now is I got my jars going. They've got 5 more minutes, almost 5-6 minutes. I've got those going. I've got water on here with a little bit of salt in it because whenever I get my jars, my hot jars out, I'm going to put half teaspoon. It says, I think for quarts you're supposed to put 1 teaspoon, but I just put half because we try to do less salt around here. And the salt is just preservative, so you have a little bit of salt in there when you're cooking it, so therefore you're going to get enough. Now, what I was getting ready to do is I do want to get my water in here because you have to have 2 inches of water in your pressure canner. And that's just a general rule. Back here, I don't know if you can see all the way back there, that's my lids. I'm going to heat my lids up when I get closer to packing everything. I've got this little hot plate. This will be cooking this here in just a second. So what I do is I just get some water. It doesn't matter if it's hot or cold water now. Eventually you'll want to warm it up. But for right now, I'm just putting some water in there. And then if you have this little handy dandy tool, it has a ruler on it. You guys can't see it, but you might be able to see it there. But you want it to show the 2-inch mark, and that's how much water you want in there. Let me just see where we're at right now. I know it's not 2 inches, but okay, we're at 1.5 inches. All right. I always put a little vinegar in there. You don't need to. This is just an old thing my mom used to do. Splash of vinegar. I just need a little bit more. But and how I measure it, I just see where the water came up. That's how I measure it. And then 2's up here. So I'll get a little bit more. So right now we're kind of sitting here. It's just waiting time right now. This has got to heat up. These have got to get done. You kind of have to coordinate everything. You got to have it happen. He sees his dad outside. You got to have it happen, everything at one time. So it keeps you busy, keeps you moving. All right. Sometimes I put too much and I have to get it back out because when they say only 2 inch, oh, just a little bit more than. So we're almost ready to fill our jars, but we just got to let everything get done. All right, I'll come back to you after this is done ready. Okay, guys, I hit exactly 2 inches. So the pressure canner is ready for us. While I'm waiting, I just wanted to say something. Yeah, it's easier, quicker to run to the store and get a can of corn. And I know some of you guys are like, why are you doing that? Why? It's just cheaper to go get a can of corn and go. Well, we already have our jars, everything. The corn is absolutely free. We got that from a neighbor. He always has an overload, so he calls us. Jeff goes and picks it. All he asks is come and pick it and don't make a mess. And Jeff goes, he gets it, and he brings it home, and we do it. So the corn is free. Now the other stuff that I've been canning is totally out of our garden. Let's see. But first of all, I like doing it. Second of all, I like doing it because I know what's in there. I know what preservatives I might add or not add. The only thing that's in there is water, a little bit of salt, the corn, and that's it. And I can control the salt that I put in there. and I have high blood pressure. Jeff doesn't, but I do. And I have, I'm a diabetic. So anything that I can, and I can watch out for my salt and sugar intake, I love it. Because when I open the can, I know what's in it. And if you can do it, it's a lot of work, but so well worth it. And then when people start asking you, like family will say, hey, do you have a jar of corn I can have? Or do you have, and you can give it to them or something. Or even if you just take it to them and give it to them. I love it. I take my Aunt Margie canned food all the time, or jar food. And I just love to hear her say, oh, that was so good, and your grandma used to do that and all that. So it makes me feel good. And then, and whenever I'm giving you tips about, how I said, put your, I got a timer going off. Hold on a minute. Well, I'll just go ahead and finish. You know how I was telling you because I hate to waste food. That drives me crazy. I mean, I know we all have thrown it out and just go on. But when we have a vegetable for the day, and I put it in there and then put it for the week, and then we get it out on like a Friday, have this in the freezer so nothing goes bad. You don't want anything bad. But then I get it out on Friday and then we can eat it, and I have like a little of fresh vegetable soup or something like that. It is so awesome, and it's so rewarding to know that we used our food. And I know some of you guys will be on there going, oh, why does she do that? That's crazy. I get it. It's me. And luckily I married a man that's frugal like me, and that he says, okay, let's do that. But anyways, let me see what that timer was. I think it's my jars, but if my water's not ready, I may not get my jars out. I'm going to go ahead and let them sit for a minute. So give me just a second. Let me see what's going on. The best advice that I can give you, the jars are ready, but of course my water's still not. Let me make sure I have this on. Oh yeah, it's hot. The best advice if you're wanting to start canning, I say get you a good canning book. This book has been my go-to, and now I've got recipes offline. I've compared them with Mom's recipes, and Mom's recipes are almost exactly like this because this is what she's ever known. So, but this book is my go-to every time, and you see I've got all kinds of recipes and stuff that I've used that I've had from Mom. So, but get you a good book, and then get all your equipment that you need so that you're ready to go. And always, canning goes so much smoother. My first year, I was like, I've even told you before, I was over here, I was over there, I was here. I was like, I give me a little system now. I'm kind of hyper today. I got a lot to do, so I'm talking fast, and I'm feeling better. I have been not feeling so well. See, I got me a little system now. I get all my dishes done. I try to get them out of the way. That's still coffee cups and stuff here. But once you get a little system going, wow, you can get it heated up and going fast. I'm going to try to get the 7 quarts done. I'm going to try to get 14 quarts today. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. We got a late start, and I got in the pool for a little bit because I've not been able to go outside. It's been so humid. So I went out and got in the pool for a little bit, and Jeff brought in the corn, and I kind of got delayed because then I had to sit down. Then I went outside with Bear, and then I came back in because I couldn't breathe. So here we are. We're running a little late, but I am going to try to get 14 quarts done today. He will have to shuck me some more. He just took the neighbor some corn. But yeah, I'm going to try to get 14, but I don't know. So right now, all I'm waiting on is this water, and that's a little bit of salt in there. I will put salt in my jars. I only use a half a teaspoon. I think it's a teaspoon for a quart, but we're going to use a half. Tools is this right here to get your jars in and out of the water. You'll need a funnel, and this thing has a little magnet on it to help get your jar lids, not these, but your little lids out of the hot boiling water. I still hot boil mine. A lot of people don't, but I do. Let's see. And then, of course, this little guy. What else would you need? Of course, your pans and all that. Oh boy, I was thinking something real quick. Well, it went in now. Oh, and then this is my scooper. I always use this one to can in. That's my first go-to. I've had this forever. It was a Rachel Ray. I don't know. I might have got it at Goodwill or something, but I've had it forever. That's always just I grab it and go. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, I'm going to let my water heat up and then I'll come back because as of right now, I'm just kind of waiting. It's a waiting game. And then after I get my pressure cooker going, that is the hour and 25 minutes that I have to let it cook. Corn, I love corn, but I don't like canning it because, first of all, it's messy. It's not as messy as it used to be because I used to use a knife and it would fly everywhere. Now that I got this little handy dandy tool, it helps. Corn is probably, no, tomatoes and corn is probably my least favorite because I love corn, but canning it, it takes an hour and 25 minutes to process. Not talking about cutting it off the ear and, doing the whole thing. Shucking it, picking it, the whole work. But, and then tomatoes. Tomatoes is so messy, but I love salsa. I love pizza, sauce, pasta sauce. What else do I do? Tomato juice. I love all that, but tomatoes are so messy. It's like putting it in the grinder and grinding it and chopping the tomato a lot. I love it, but I hate to do it. All right, now I'm going to quit talking here, go see if my water's heated up, and then I'll show you that process. We're almost there. Okay, guys, I'm going to now show you how I fill the jars up. Okay, I go ahead and get my half teaspoon of salt. Then I know that's done. So I go ahead and just add a little teaspoon. Because remember, my water has a little bit of salt water. You do need some salt to be your preserver. But I don't like too much because I don't want it to be too salty. Because I used to put the whole amount and it was just too much salt for me and Jeff. So then I take my little funnel. I want to fill up my jar with my corn. After you fill it up, this is a little trick to make sure, because you want to get it pretty full. You just take your jar, hit it like this a couple of times, and see how it brings it down a little bit more. So you just go ahead and fill it up. You want to give it an inch headspace. There we go, that's perfect. All right, so then we get our hot water. We've got our salt, a little bit of salt in there. We got our corn. Now we're adding our hot water. And bring it up to an inch headspace. I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole complete, well, I can't put the lid on there because I don't have my lids heated up. Okay, let me get those going. Okay. All right, so then after that, you always want to debubble. You take this little tool here. You go in and you want to get all the bubbles out. Now when you do this, you may have to add more water. And this one I'm going to, because the bubbles will get the corn closer together and it'll kind of like take up the water space where the bubbles were. That now is water. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just put the rest of it in for an inch headspace. There we go. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and finish this with the lid. I'll show you the lids in a minute, but from here, I would get the vinegar and a little tissue paper, or you can use a dishcloth, whatever. You dab it in that, you go around your rim, you get the lid, you put it on there, and then you put it in your pressure canner. I can't do that right now because I don't have my lids to boil yet, so we're going to go ahead and skip that for right now, but I will be back in a little bit to show you how I do that. Okay, guys. Now I am to the point, hold on a minute, I need to get a little piece of paper towel. Okay, I've got all my jars filled. They all have a half teaspoon of salt. They've been debubbled. Remember, debubbling is taking this and getting all the air bubbles out. I did all that. So there shouldn't be any bubbles in there left. We're all good. Oh, I was like, let me just check. Yeah, that one's in. I thought that one, like, I have an order that I do them in so that I remember everything. But what I do is I take this now. I put a little vinegar on my rag. I'm just going to do this first one just to show you. And I make sure all that's cleared off. Make sure it doesn't have any corn on it or anything. After I make sure it's clean, I take my little magnet guy here and I reach in there and get me a lid. Put the lid on there. Screw on the cap.
Sorry.
Finger tight. And I'm going to go ahead and set mine in here. I don't know if that water's getting, yeah, it's getting warm. And then there's one jar of corn.
No.
All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the lids, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I wanted to show you so that you can see. I've got all my jars in here. I got my 2 inches of water. One thing about corn, it's sticky. And it's like, ugh, everything gets messy. So I got that in. Now what I'll do is put the lid on. See, this thing has been used and used and reused. I'd love for Jeff to get me one for Christmas, but I like this one. All right, so then you screw on the lid. First thing that will happen, let's see, I got to turn it up on high. First thing that'll happen is, sorry about that, that I'll get steam, and steam. Then I let it steam for 10 minutes. Then after that, I put the little caps on. I know I showed you before. This all looks so dirty, but I mean, it's just from the water and stuff. But we put the caps on there. Then we wait for this to get on to 10. Now, everybody's pressure is different. It just depends on where you live. Where I live, my pressure is 10. And so that's what I use. So once mine gets on 10, then that's when I start the 1 hour and 25 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and end my video here, but I just wanted to let you know. I'll try to post something like a short with the picture when it gets done and show you that way. But I got to end it here because I don't want to do it too long, because I'm just hoping I can download this video. All right, guys, I'll try to do a Temu haul, maybe when I'm waiting on the corn. All right, I got to clean up my mess, because always clean up your mess and get ready for the next batch. I told Jeff I wanted to do another 7 quarts, and then I think that'll be it, because like I said, it takes a while for it to process. All right, I'll see you guys later. Put a smile on your face. Put a smile on somebody else's face. It'll make your day and their day. And you know, we can't have too many smiles. It's like too much corn. Can't have too much corn. All right, guys, have a God bless day. Be kind, stay humble, and yeah, till next video. Bye.